when I come sit out here, I like notice all the bird songs and I just don't know what they are. It's so sad. My name is Vrinda. I'm, I would say, an ecologist and artist, maybe, yeah. I spend most of my time, I think, thinking about biodiversity issues, like extinction, and then how that intersects with like other issues like climate change. One thing I think about a lot is how colonial history is tied to like a lot of environmental destruction. Because like I'm Indian, so like I just grew up like my parents talked a lot about like British rule in India. My mom, she would talk about like, oh, like there's all these little things in India that like people like Westerners used to like kind of mock and make fun of, but that are actually like very environmentally friendly, like eating on banana leaves instead of like using like disposable things. And then as I got older, I kind of like researched that kind of stuff on my own and like learned about resource extraction from countries that were colonized, and how that like just completely changed the landscapes and like disconnected people from their land, you know, like destroyed a lot of biodiversity. That's one thing that I think about is, yeah, like the racial and socioeconomic overlaps with environmental issues and kind of the state of the world today and how that's been shaped by that history. Yeah. Such an interesting question. I feel like I'm so often not excited about the future, which is bad. I think one thing that has been on my mind recently, like everyone having some kind of connection to the natural world, and seeing it like less of a backdrop to their lives. Like I was talking with my friends about like the drive from the Bay Area to LA, and one of them was like, when we were driving through all that agricultural land, it was like so boring. And I was like, that's not boring. It's like you can like guess like what all the trees are and like, I don't know, think about like all the food that's growing around us. And she's like, oh, it's just like you're like interested in like trees and the environment, so you think it's interesting. So like for me, I was like, oh, it would be so cool if like everyone was interested in like trees, you know, if like everyone just like took a greater interest in the world, that like the natural world around them, because I think that would really change how people interact with the environment. I would imagine there'd be like less extraction of resources, maybe like not seeing nature as resources anymore. Yeah, if they just like formed relationships with like other species and like, I don't know, paid closer attention. Because when I started doing that, I feel like the world just really like came alive like in front of my eyes over the past few years. Even though like I'm living in the same places that I always have been. When you like learn to like notice things and like start just like taking a greater interest, I think, in the outdoors or in the environment, that seems to make, I think that could make like a really big impact.